First contact deception. Commander Sarah Chen floated silently in the observation bubble of the ESS Endurance, her eyes fixed on the ghostly structure hanging against the backdrop of Titan's hazy atmosphere. The derelict space station had been discovered just 3 weeks ago by automated mining drones, its alien architecture unlike anything humans had encountered in their century of space exploration. "Anything new from the signal analysis?" she asked, not turning away from the view. Lieutenant Adayami's voice came through her comms with a hint of excitement. "We've isolated a repeating pattern, Commander. It's definitely artificial, and it's definitely not one of ours." Sarah felt a chill run through her body that had nothing to do with the environmental controls. Humanity had wondered for generations whether they were alone in the universe. They had found microbial life on Europa, ancient fossils on Mars, but never signs of intelligent aliens. Until now. "Alert Earth Command," she said. "Priority Alpha. First contact protocol." Within 72 hours, the diplomatic vessel Harmony departed from Earth orbit, carrying specialists from every relevant field. Dr. Marcus Wade, Earth's foremost xenolinguist, led the team. The stocky, silver-haired academic had spent his career developing theoretical frameworks for alien communication. Now he would test those theories against reality. "This is the moment we've prepared for," Dr. Wade addressed his team as they approached the rendezvous with the Endurance near Saturn. "Remember, we make no assumptions. We represent all of humanity in this encounter." When they reached the derelict station, initial scans revealed it was at least 15,000 years old. The power signature that generated the repeating signal appeared to be self-sustaining, running on principles that defied terrestrial physics. Dr. Wade's team worked methodically, decoding the signal over 5 tense days. "It's a beacon," he finally announced to Commander Chen. "And if we're interpreting correctly, it's a warning." Before they could investigate further, the sensors on both Earth vessels went haywire. A massive distortion appeared at the edge of the Saturn system, a ripple in space-time that resolved into a fleet of ships unlike anything humans had built. The lead vessel was enormous, easily 20 times the size of the largest Earth ship, with sweeping organic curves that seemed to bend space around it. "We're being hailed," Lieutenant Adayami reported, his voice tight. The being that appeared on the view screen had a vaguely humanoid shape, but with iridescent scales covering its body and 4 eyes arranged in a diamond pattern. When it spoke, its mandibles clicked rhythmically. "Greetings, explorers of Earth," the alien said, its words perfectly translated through some unknown means. "I am High Executor Kravix of the Nyx Collective. We have monitored your discovery of our ancient way station. Most impressive for a species so young." Commander Chen stepped forward, following first contact protocol to the letter. "On behalf of Earth and all humanity, we welcome peaceful contact with the Nyx Collective. I am Commander Sarah Chen of the Earth Spaceship Endurance." The High Executor's upper eyes narrowed slightly. "Your species shows remarkable potential. We have observed your development with interest. You've achieved rudimentary space travel in a mere few centuries since your industrial revolution. Quite rapid by galactic standards." Dr. Wade joined Chen at the view screen. "We're honored by your interest in our civilization. We have much to learn from more established species." "Indeed you do," Kravix responded. "The galaxy is filled with dangers your kind cannot yet comprehend. The Nyx Collective offers protection to developing species such as yours. We have done so for millions of your years, guiding countless civilizations toward enlightenment." Over the next several days, the Nyx representatives shared information about galactic society. They described a cosmos teeming with life, governed by ancient species who had achieved technological marvels beyond human imagination. The Nyx portrayed themselves as benevolent guardians, offering Earth a place under their protection. "All we require," Kravix explained during a formal meeting aboard their vessel, "is access to your system's resources and a governing presence on your homeworld. A small price for the security and knowledge we provide." Something in the alien's tone made Dr. Wade uneasy. While Commander Chen and Earth's leadership conducted official negotiations, Wade and his team secretly analyzed everything they could about the Nix. They decoded transmissions, studied the aliens' behavior patterns, and most importantly, thoroughly investigated the ancient warning beacon. What they discovered was disturbing. "They're lying to us," Wade told Commander Chen in a secure, shielded room aboard the Endurance. "The beacon contains historical records. The Nix aren't protectors. They're conquerors. They identify promising species, offer protection, then systematically strip their resources and reduce them to client states." Chen's expression hardened. "How certain are you?" "The beacon was left by a species called the Vorathi. They tried to warn others about the Nix pattern. According to these records, dozens of civilizations have fallen to this same approach. We need to alert Earth immediately," Chen said. But it was already too late. The Nix had moved their fleet into strategic positions throughout the solar system. Kravix requested a final answer to their offer of protection. Earth's Security Council convened an emergency session. The choice seemed impossible: surrender their sovereignty or face annihilation by a technologically superior force. During the tense meeting, Dr. Wade presented his findings. "The Nix technology is advanced, but not incomprehensible. Their weapons use principles we've theorized but haven't yet implemented. And there's something else. The ancient records suggest they have a critical weakness." "What weakness?" demanded the Security Council chair. Wade's eyes gleamed with the excitement of discovery. "They rely entirely on conventional physics. Their entire empire is built on manipulating the laws of physics as they understand them. But humanity has been researching something they don't appear to comprehend. Quantum entanglement technology," said General Iron Vasquez, head of Earth's Defense Forces. "Project Singularity." "Precisely," Wade nodded. "It's theoretical, but—" "Not entirely theoretical," interrupted General Vasquez. "We've had functional prototypes for nearly a decade." The revelation stunned the room. Earth had been secretly developing technology based on principles that even the Nix might not understand. When High Executor Kravix issued his final ultimatum, his mandibles clicked with what human observers interpreted as smugness. "You have 24 of your Earth hours to submit to Nix protection, or we will be forced to demonstrate our power in ways you will find regrettable." Commander Chen, now back on Earth as humanity's designated representative, stood before the alien with perfect composure. "The people of Earth thank you for your generous offer," she said, choosing her words carefully. "We require 48 hours to prepare our world for the transition." Kravix's upper eyes narrowed again. "Very well. 48 hours, but not one moment more. Prepare your leaders to receive our governance protocols." As the transmission ended, Chen turned to face the grim-faced Security Council. "That should buy us the time we need." "Time for what?" asked the council chair. Chen's lips curved into a smile that held not joy, but fierce determination. "Time to show these would-be conquerors that humanity doesn't surrender easily." Across Earth and throughout the solar system, a plan took shape, a desperate gamble based on technology that had never been deployed in combat. Humanity prepared to stake its very existence on innovation, courage, and the element of surprise. The unconventional response. "They've positioned warships near every major human settlement in the system," reported Admiral Wade as holographic displays showed the Nix fleet formations around Earth, Mars, and the Jovian colonies. Conventional military response would be suicide. The strategic command bunker beneath the Urals buzzed with activity as military and civilian leaders assessed their options. The Nix had allowed human ships to continue normal operations, confident in their overwhelming technological superiority. "What about Project Singularity?" asked Commander Chen. General Vasquez said it was functional. Dr. Elias Okafor, the project's lead scientist, stepped forward. The tall Nigerian physicist had spent 15 years developing quantum entanglement technology in secret facilities on Earth and Mars. "Functional, yes, but not weaponized," Dr. Okafor explained. We've achieved stable quantum links across solar system distances and developed rudimentary shielding based on quantum field manipulation. But offensive capabilities? We'd need months, maybe years. We don't have years, Admiral Wei said grimly. We don't even have days. Commander Chen studied the holographic display, her mind racing. Something about the Nix fleet formations nagged at her tactical instincts. They're expecting a conventional response, she said slowly. Their entire strategy assumes we'll either surrender or attempt to fight them on their terms. She looked up, her eyes bright with realization. But what if we do neither? What are you suggesting? Asked the UN Secretary General. They see us as primitive, Chen explained, moving to manipulate the holographic display. Let's use that perception against them. Dr. Okafor, you said Project Singularity has achieved stable quantum shielding. The physicist nodded cautiously. Yes, though we've only tested it on small vessels and installations. Can it be deployed system-wide within 48 hours? Dr. Okafor considered, performing rapid calculations in his head. Possibly, if we redirect all available resources and use the quantum relays we've already established. But it would leave us defenseless if it fails. It's our best chance, Chen insisted. Here's what I propose. We appear to accept their terms while activating our quantum shield network. We deploy a small, seemingly primitive fleet that will make them believe we're mounting a token resistance. General Vasquez's eyes widened as she grasped Chen's strategy. A Trojan horse. Exactly, Chen nodded. Our ships will carry quantum entanglement devices that, when activated simultaneously, should disrupt their conventional weapon systems. The next 48 hours saw humanity engaged in the most coordinated technological deployment in history. While official channels maintained diplomatic communications with the Nix, the Quantum Shield Network was activated across Earth, Mars, and all human settlements. Every available scientist and engineer worked tirelessly to prepare the specialized fleet. Earth's visible response appeared pitifully inadequate. Just 30 mid-sized vessels gathered in high Earth orbit, armed with conventional weapons that would be useless against Nix shields. Meanwhile, the Ghost Protocol was implemented across all colonies. Human settlements went dark, appearing to power down in submission while actually activating quantum field generators. High Executor Kravix watched the humans' apparent preparations for surrender with satisfaction. His species had performed this ritual hundreds of times across the galaxy. The primitive species always followed the same pattern: initial resistance, desperate diplomacy, then inevitable capitulation. As the deadline approached, Commander Chen led the small human fleet toward the Nix command ship. Her vessel, the newly commissioned Defiance, carried at its heart the most advanced quantum entanglement device ever created. Executor Kravix, Chen transmitted. Earth presents this token fleet as a symbol of our cooperation. These ships will be the first to receive your governance protocols. Aboard the Nix command vessel, Kravix's mandibles clicked in amusement. Your submission is noted, Commander. However, your deception attempts have not gone unnoticed. Our sensors detect unusual energy signatures throughout your system. Chen's face betrayed nothing. We've activated our planetary defense systems as a precaution. They pose no threat to your advanced technology. A wise precaution, but unnecessary, Kravix responded. To demonstrate our benevolence and the futility of resistance, we will allow your symbolic fleet to approach. Then you will witness the power of those who now protect you. As the human vessels drew closer to the Nix armada, tension mounted on every bridge. Everything depended on precise timing and the untested technology hidden within each ship. Lieutenant Ada Amy, now serving as Chen's tactical officer aboard the Defiance, monitored the approaching confrontation. They're scanning us intensively, Commander. Their weapons systems are powering up. Hold course, Chen ordered. All ships maintain formation. The massive Nix vessels loomed ever larger on their view screens, weapons ports opening like hungry mouths. Kravix's final transmission dripped with condescension. Your species will remember this moment, Commander Chen. The day you became part of something greater than yourselves. Chen's reply was calm and measured. We will indeed remember this day, Executor, though perhaps not in the way you imagine. She nodded to Lieutenant Adayemi. Activate singularity. Simultaneously, across the 30 human vessels, quantum entanglement devices synchronized. For a brief moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then, reality itself appeared to shudder. The quantum field expanded outward, intersecting with the Nyx vessels. Their energy weapons powered up but failed to discharge. Their propulsion systems fluctuated wildly. Most importantly, their communications suddenly went silent. Back on Earth, Dr. Okafor watched the sensor readings with amazement. It's working. The quantum field is disrupting their conventional physics-based systems. The human fleet split into precisely coordinated groups, moving with practiced precision, despite the reality warping effects of the quantum field surrounding them. Human crews had trained for months to operate under these disorienting conditions. The Nyx, however, were experiencing something unprecedented in their millions of years of conquest. Their technology, based entirely on conventional physics, behaved erratically within the quantum disruption field. Aboard the Defiance, Commander Chen opened a channel to all human vessels. Phase 2 begins now. Deploy quantum torpedoes. Each human ship launched specially designed projectiles that weren't weapons in the conventional sense. Instead, they attached to Nyx vessels and expanded the quantum disruption field, further crippling their systems. Throughout the solar system, the supposedly surrendered human colonies suddenly reactivated, quantum shields at full power, impervious to Nyx weaponry. The hunters had become the hunted, and humanity's unconventional response had just changed the balance of power in ways the Nyx could never have anticipated. Laughter in the void. High Executor Kravix stared at his malfunctioning command console in disbelief. The primitive humans had somehow generated an energy field that violated the fundamental laws of physics as the Nyx understood them. His mighty warship, capable of reducing planets to molten slag, couldn't even maintain stable communications with its own fleet. Disable these interference devices immediately, he commanded his chief technician. Executor, we cannot determine how they function. The technician responded, mandibles clicking in distress. They operate on principles our science has never encountered. Meanwhile, the human vessels executed maneuvers that should have been impossible, appearing to phase in and out of conventional space, immune to the Nyx targeting systems. Commander Chen's voice echoed through every Nyx ship, transmitted through their own communication systems. Attention Nyx collective forces. Your weapons and propulsion systems have been compromised. You are experiencing the effects of quantum entanglement fields, technology beyond your understanding. On the bridge of the Defiance, Chen nodded to Lieutenant Adayemi. Now, Lieutenant, execute Phantom Protocol. Across the solar system, the most audacious aspect of humanity's plan activated. Hidden within Earth's computational networks was a breakthrough artificial intelligence system, designed specifically to interface with quantum entanglement technology. This AI, codenamed Phantom, had already infiltrated Nyx systems through the quantum field. Suddenly, every display on every Nyx vessel showed the same image. Commander Sarah Chen, standing calmly on the bridge of the Defiance. Your species has conquered others through technological superiority and intimidation, Chen's image stated. You assumed humans would follow the same pattern as your previous victims. That was your mistake. The Nyx crew watched in horror as their own weapon systems powered down completely. Life support remained functional, but nothing else responded to commands. Kravix's rage was palpable. This is impossible. No primitive species could develop technology that surpasses the collective. Chen's image smiled. We didn't surpass your technology, Executor. We simply took a different path. While you perfected conventional physics applications over millions of years, humanity explored quantum mechanics and artificial intelligence integration. Your mistake was judging our capabilities by your standards. Throughout the confrontation, tension had built among the human forces. Years of preparation, the existential fear of facing a technologically superior species, the uncertainty of their desperate gambit, it all culminated in this moment. And then something unexpected happened. Commander Chen laughed. It began as a small chuckle, then grew into genuine, relieved laughter that echoed across all frequencies, transmitted to every Nyx vessel. The sound was jarringly human, emotional, authentic, unburdened by protocol. One by one, crews throughout the human fleet joined in. The sound of human laughter filled the communications channels, a chorus of relief and triumph that bewildered the Nyx observers. Why do they emit these sounds? A Nyx officer asked Kravix. The High Executor had no answer. In all the collective's conquest history, they had never encountered a species that laughed in the face of overwhelming odds, and certainly never one that turned the tables so completely. The laughter spread throughout human settlements across the solar system as news of the successful defense reached Earth, Mars, and the outer colonies. It was the sound of a species that had faced extinction and emerged victorious through ingenuity and courage. When the laughter finally subsided, Commander Chen addressed Kravix again. High Executor, humanity will not be your next conquest. Instead, we offer new terms for our relationship. You dare dictate terms to the Nyx collective. Kravix sputtered, though his position had clearly changed. We do, Chen replied calmly. Our quantum entanglement field will be deactivated once you withdraw your forces from our solar system. You will acknowledge humanity's sovereignty and our right to develop without interference. And if we refuse? Kravix challenged, though with noticeably less confidence. Chen's expression remained impassive. Then we will be forced to demonstrate our power in ways you will find regrettable. She deliberately echoed his earlier threat. The negotiation that followed rewrote the power dynamics between Earth and the Nyx collective. Humanity would not become another subjugated species, but would instead enter galactic society as equals. Earth's quantum entanglement technology, something the Nyx had never encountered in millions of years of conquest, ensured that the terms would be respected. 3 months later, Commander Chen stood beside Dr. Wade in the observation bubble of the Endurance, now orbiting the ancient beacon station where the encounter began. Earth vessels worked alongside Nyx technicians, both species learning from each other under the new agreement. Do you think they understand yet? Wade asked, watching the joint operations. Understand what? Chen replied. Why we laughed. The Nyx still seemed confused by it. Chen smiled, remembering that moment when humanity's defiance had echoed across the void. I think they're beginning to. Laughter comes from surprise, from the unexpected. And nothing was more unexpected than a primitive species turning their advantages against them. They've conquered hundreds of worlds, Wade noted, but they've never encountered humans before. And that, Commander Chen said, made all the difference. Across the solar system, humanity continued to develop their quantum technology, no longer in secret, but as acknowledged innovators in galactic society. The laughter that had echoed through space became symbolic of Earth's entrance onto the cosmic stage, not as conquerors or the conquered, but as a species that refused to be underestimated. The Nyx collective had sought to add another trophy to their ancient empire. Instead, they became the first to learn an important lesson about humanity. Never judge a species by their apparent technological development. Sometimes, the most dangerous civilizations are those with the imagination to take an entirely different path, and the courage to laugh in the face of impossible odds. The beacon station, once a warning about the Nyx, now bore a new message, one that would spread throughout the galaxy. Humanity had arrived, and the universe would never be the same again.